Yeah, good morning, Tessie. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing great.
So we just expect mothers to come in.
Okay.
I'm fine.
How are you?
We've been on, but no audio. I saw somebody on it.
Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't have. I connected with the earpiece. Good morning, comrade.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so I just spoke with the honorable. He will be joining us very soon.
Okay. So maybe we'll just wait for a while.
Yeah, he's just connected now.
He was on before and then he left.
Yeah, he will join us now. Back. That is the local youths nominated.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll coming back again. His honorable just joined us now. Good morning, sir.
So we'll wait for.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? How did you? Sorry.
I'm fine, sir. Sorry for the late, sir.
Yeah, to be very brief.
Yeah, of course.
Tasu just disconnected now. Let me just tap on him that you are in. Yeah, so I think we can actually get started because I'm sure for him, we have spoken earlier, but then it was more important that you are more involved. So good morning. Good morning, all.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, please just permit me to share my screen briefly. Yeah. So. Right. Do let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, right. So, good morning. I will try and be strategic so that we don't cut too much of the time. It's a project we're already familiar with. So, good morning, Your Honorable. I tried to see how we can just look through the program and see its readiness for Nasarawa State, as it were. So thanks for the opportunity, and I think good morning. Welcome my comrade and my colleague on the project, who is here in the name of Mr. Benga Fakoya. So I think this project actually is that project that we think from next year, we now have the mandate to leverage on the resources that we have to create an incubation that we plan to assist so many youths from the length, from around the country, and then we are particularly going down at the state level to engage the states to see how this project can be handed over to them, and with a few prayers for the states to adopt the implementation of this regional project and national project from the various states. So I will just take time to just run through this because this will be available in terms of video content and all that. The Innovation Bed project is actually a project that hopes to, in a unique way, try to leverage on the past research that as a foundation, Programmers Foundation has actually undertaken to do with certain members of the working group on some UN initiatives at the UN ICT for Seeds, as well as the UN World Summit Awards projects. And in so doing, this project was targeted at, using it to influence the capability of developing countries for them to become digitally transformed communities and economies. So in the course of our research in the last 10 years, we realized that we have used the UN ICT for Seeds to create a lot of resources that are homegrown from the country and they are globally rated. And these resources, we need to be able to harvest them back in terms of content, what they do, their specializations, and try to create that ecosystem that we can actually use them to see how we can build new generations of next Nigerians that should be able to do the kind of things that they have known, that they have also shown to the rest of the world. And at the same time, the UNICT for Seeds project is actually the kind of content that every political organization, any leader, and whether an enterprise of government or a private enterprise need to be able to understand those contents, and so that we can begin to build our economies in the real terms in the sense that some of what we're doing yesterday, we should cease to do them the same way at this time, because some of those brick and mortar processes are undergoing some digital transformations, which are now being put into some compact education that are ordinarily sometimes being put as the industry 4.0 or 4.0 plus, that we think this content should begin to be put down to our youths so that they themselves can become matured in some of these contents and knowledge base. And some of the partners we have, myself, we have some other lecturers from other universities like Dr. Stevens of the Oklahoma University. You have Professor Amjad Umar and the lead project consultant at the ICT for Seeds at the UN, who is actually the director of graduate studies at the Harrisburg University in the US. So he's principally leading these processes all over the world. And structurally, in terms of what we talk, there's going to be a whole lot of contents which I'm not going to spend so much time over. Yeah, and recently this project had the benefit of a 10-year report, for which we were given the opportunity at the OCAM 21st Info Poverty World Conference, which usually holds annually at the UN headquarters in New York. But given the pandemic for this year, the program was actually 100% virtual. And we were very particularly happy that we were able to get the attention of our Honorable, His Excellency, our Honorable Minister, Communications and Digital Economy, in person of Professor Issa Pantami, who actually graced the occasion by opening the event before our delivery. And this mandate was actually formalized at the OCAM Info Poverty World Conference of 2021. So going next now, we are actually looking at the prayers for the next 10 years, gradually, that the states to be able to put up an incubation to see how we can help these young youths. And we're targeting about 1 million. And we hope to go for a minimum about 2,500 annually from each of the states, and we'll grow on the basis of how we're able to go and not forcing people. And the innovation bed right now is actually leveraging on the designs and of course the principles of the Horizon Europe. And I'm glad to mention that Innovation Bed Africa is being considered right now on what will join the Horizon Europe for Africa initiative, even as they see the pilots that we run in Africa, in Nigeria particularly, because like I said, it's not just a project for Nasarawa State, it's not a project for Nigeria alone. Any developing country and small island will benefit from this project. And of course, we have our test data to show to the world of what we have done. And that's why this is important. This project is very key to all of us. And I will particularly look at the kind of programming and terms of timelines that we are looking at. That between January 2022 and August of 2022, we would have actually been able to start and finish up the batches the very first batch for next year, which is going to be the preliminary of the first 2,500. And then we are looking at contents that will be broken down into virtual projects and contents that can be delivered within 3 months and another 3 months, and that making about a total of 6 months. And this project will be able to deliver. We've got all the necessary infrastructure put in place, and this is the line and the timelines that we budget that we think the states will be able to, for states that are able to come in, all the various tasks that we'll be able to do, we'll be able to get this project off the ground, as it were. Then, in terms of content and delivery, the Horizon Europe also considers how we can actually use this project to merge and make it easy for the political class to understand. So we've actually looked at all those concerns in terms of development and all the implementations. We've actually looked at 3 key categorizations, being the democracy and governance innovation incubation, the culture and creative industry incubation, the social and economic transformation incubation, and this is hoping to address as many of all our areas of the fabrics as much as we can. And this is state by state. The reports, of course, by the principal leaders like your Honorable Sonny, you'll be the principal person, and of course to join our reporting at the global unit when we are making our reports at the OCAM in subsequent years. So it's actually something that the rest of the world is particularly very waiting for. Now, the innovation bed is actually is principled on 5 key interventions, and these interventions are the fix a gap research, the upskilling research. The fix a gap research is that from our various units and regions, we have peculiar gaps, even though they are national issues. Our work is not just about straightforward, straitjacket schooling thing, but then we need to look at the local problems and by being able to bring this local project to bear in what we are getting people there to be able to do for the various regions. So it's a major incubation that researches on this local environment and the gaps associated in it, because we need to really address the social issues. Then upskilling research is that we don't just teach people what they do not need. We upskill people for what the immediate environment requires that you need to know that can make your impact at all to be prosperous. And that is, I think, what can change the kind of poverty levels that we think that we're having in the society. Most of us are just reading things. We don't know whether they are prosperous and what have you, but then things that are in demand and you need to solve and earn a living would almost make a young man be very confident about himself and much more assured of life. And the other intervention being the UN World Summit Awards project, which we are domesticating in Nasarawa State. And this is one of the prayers that you have Nasarawa World Summit Awards. And that is actually to ensure that all the things that we've been doing all this while is not just centered in Lagos, centered in Abuja, but it's centered at every node of the 36 states of the Federation, and we'll be able to fetch and report technologies and things that are happening from there. And they also have equal opportunities of being put on the same basket that we showcase to the global stage from Nigeria. And next is actually the UN ICT for Seeds, which is actually the accelerator for you to be able to adapt the SDGs in terms of advisory and make people to know what it is, and it's part of the content of this incubation upskilling for people and the capacity that we are developing. And lastly, it's about digital policy. We do not want digital policy to just be things we just speak into the air, but we are making digital policy to be that local thing that you and I and everybody, even in the rural and urban, needs to understand better about what data and digitization is all about in terms of policies associated with how all this impacts our lives. So next is that our story is so clear in that having done all this, we've had so much to showcase for, in that we've actually gotten some principal stakeholders before now across the country, which we offer some scholarships for a few people that we've gotten the faculty from the UNICT for Seeds to train in the country before now. And this is actually going to be an advantage because our programs are train the trainer in nature, in that these guys are already on the faculty of those who are going to help us in even training the rest of the people on these contents that we're talking about. We have people from Akwa Ibom, we have Bauchi, and this was nominated by the Director General of Bureau for ICT in Bauchi, and I think Ishaku was nominated by the Director ICT from Taraba, and the Information Communication Technology Agency, Edo State, nominated Adoge, and of course, we have an FCT nominee from, I think, the Minister of Justice in Abuja, and a lot more. And of course, the women that we think their own project should be able to help, so that we can actually help build that women fold in such a way that if there are women who are finding interest in technology, we're trying to see how they can make and succeed as they come to, as they are in technology. You know, so that fold of the innovation bed for women goes a long way to try and build that fold in the realm of women development in technology. Now, we also try to see how we will be able to, from state to state, be able to measure as a foundation and a consortium that what are the kind of people that this governor or this executive or this leadership, who has these people been able to produce over a period of time. As you can see here, some local people from Nasarawa State aspire to innovate in government tenders, innovate in several aspects of technology and aspects of life. They want to, religious CRMs and financial inclusion products, advertising and marketing, digitization of so many things. There are so many aspects of things happening there in the local, all the local governments in Nasarawa State, for instance. And we realize that all the issues in there, they can begin to do some digital services, they can provide, and of course, to earn a living. And these are the kind of things we need to begin to build. Factories are not just because they need to go put up a foundation, but digital factories are that they can begin to think of what they need to do, and they can be given all the various support in terms of knowledge and anything, so that they'll be able to learn what to do. But the more innovators you'll be able to have in your ecosystem, the better it should be for any leader. And that's what we try to popularize across the country. So it's a project that is actually we're very passionate about, in that the leaders who have these innovators around them will be more to solving their local problems than wanting to perhaps go outside outside the shores of this country in getting one hand or the other for one thing that is always around them that these guys can do for them. And these are the kind of exposures, using the data bank of all the innovations across several countries that we already have, that will be exposing to these people in the course of their incubation. Now, and this entire project is actually driven in line with the OCAM structure of Digital Services Global Platform. Every region is connected, is communicating and can collaborate, whether within Nigeria and also outside Nigeria. And these are the kind of efforts we are talking about digitally. These are problem solutions that everybody that is on this project will be able to deliver digital services that are adequate, either in singles or as a group, taking interest in what they want to do in their future lives, and they'll be able to build all these services for their states, whether in agriculture, whether in smart transport, and so on and so forth. And that's why we're actually getting all our stakeholders, letting them to know that this kind of effort is not just one thing that somebody does. Every other party, every other Nigerian should be able to involve with doing something that can grow the economy, and not just like perhaps leaving it for politicians, to forge solutions on their own. And we seek all these collaborations for the future, more collaborations, and so on and so forth. So this actually will wrap up my my talk, and I think the next will just be that we can just look at this entire concept, and we discuss it more as I stop my share, to see that when this project actually comes to the states, and the states are able to show the kind of attention to their youths, and these youths have the ability to be exposed to this program, it goes a long way, in building the capacity that we're talking about in real terms, and not just conferencing, and all of that, and classworks that we think may not really do also so much. And on the website now, it is very easy that you can go to the website now. We have a page where all the 36 states are there, and you should be able to pick the states that are active, and we are already building pages for states that are ready. And of course, beginning to give us what they need to do from next year. So the prayer is one, Nasarawa State hub for the UN World Summit Awards to be endorsed by the state executive. And of course, the UNICT for Seeds project on the content of SDGs advisory, for which there's no MDA in the state that will not find this tool very useful. And this tool is being done for developing countries to tap into, use it and perfect it and use it to make the best of advices, because their decision support solutions. And everybody needs to know about them, is why this incubation will help such knowledge across the states over a period of time. And the incubation for a long term is about the last one that the state should be able to let us look into. So if you're having like 2,500, what is it the state can actually help us to do on an annual basis? And what is it, of course, the state can partner us, also relate with other corporate entities in the state that we can actually grow as much as we can. And we try to see how this project can remain as inexpensive as possible so that we can actually have the mass target. You know, we're talking about 1 million in 10 years, but this is a brand new decade. You spending the last year to do all the things that we have built and created an ecosystem. We're talking about an ecosystem that we want to harvest all of this and begin to do a kind of create a brand new set of people who are not just on the air, but they are actually right there in their various locations doing what we need to do. And that is the kind of idea that the entire project is all about. If we can actually, if I can pause at this point to hear your opinion, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, comrade. I think without much ado, you know, digital literacy is the.
Sorry, comrade, is your video on?
Yes.
Okay.
My video is, yeah.
Okay.
I said without much ado, digital literacy is actually the starting point for all learners of all ages, you know, irrespective of tribe, creed, or whatsoever. And it's actually something that can build set of skills, you know, for people, for youth, you know, while they're in school and also throughout their employment journeys.
Yeah, I was saying, perhaps if you can let's have your image.
My image.
Yeah, it's not showing, yes. We'll just confirm it if that is possible.
Okay. Okay, I'm working on it.
Okay, sorry about it. Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying that the program is dedicated to ensuring learners of all age can not only navigate our digital world, but they will also thrive in it. You know, so it's important that we begin to get these youths to engage them in a more productive way. You understand, okay? Even while in school, now it begins to change their thought lines, okay? Move them away from crimes and criminalities, okay? Make them to be more productive. So why the trust of government is to ensure that that growing number of youths are actually properly engaged. Now, it is only when they're engaged that the restiveness that they seek, I mean, that we're experiencing right now will actually be reduced. But if they're not engaged, if the youths are not engaged, you won't have that. So, and digital literacy is actually the way to go all over. You know, it makes new thinking easier. It makes endless possibilities. So I think it is important that government of all tiers of government, you know, tap into digital literacy. You understand? The quicker, the better. Now, because for programmers and UN, there's a 10-year gap. I mean, 10-year window. You understand? Within 10 years, a child who actually comes maybe from secondary school, you understand, to university, and probably the first 3 or 4 years of his employment life, you understand, will work within that 10 years, and he cannot be able to create, you know,
producers,
so many things.
Producers, actually, yeah.
Yeah, from they become producers of labor.
Productivity,
they
yes.
become, I mean, not just employers of labor. They produce labor.
Yeah.
You know, from photography, digital photography, to graphic designs, to marketing. You know, the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I was at the last 49th AGM summit of what's it called, the manufacturers. What's it called in Nigeria? Man, you know, and the president of the African Development Bank, you know, was speaking, and he said, look, the possibilities are just enormous that Nigeria has not even tapped into it. We're even still scratching the surface. You're talking about a trillion naira business that we're not looking at. For instance, Nasarawa State, okay, it's a bedrock of solid minerals not tapped. So I will leave that. Let me even look at agriculture. It's a vast land. And when you talk about agriculture, you cannot run away from logistics. So that also means that with digital literacy, the logistics, the marketing of agricultural produce becomes easier, becomes seamless. So they're not looking at opportunities at the moment. You understand? We're looking at, where they're not looking at, how do I put it now? If I do my own SWOT analysis, if I look at Nasarawa State, for example, its strength, it is numerous youths available. Nasarawa has polytechnic, it has universities, it has so many colleges colleges, and that means that this youth can be channeled properly, if their potential has been harnessed. 2,500 youths among them is a minute of the number of institutions available there. So if we look at how to engage 2,500 of them over the next 6 months, by next year again, we produce another over 6 months. Yeah. By the following year, we produce 6 months. So we're talking about, on the average, 2,500 in every year. That means 25,000 pupils with digital literacy.
That's right.
So, and that means that the state will benefit in the long run, because when they become productive, the state will eventually tax, those productive ventures services, and make revenue. So the investment, it is not a loss. The investment is not a loss. It is a gain. So the state or every other state involved in this will definitely benefit from it. That's my take.
That's obviously that's you've gotten it. Thanks. So
that's wonderful, sir, for analyzing my state and my youth. For my state here, I think you made it clear. We have a lot of college of educations, we have a lot of polytechnics and also universities, and we have a lot of investors coming to our state when it comes to industrial activities, and it's the mineral resources of a thing which we do have, and a lot of people are coming in to invest more in the state. And with that, if this innovation of a thing comes in, it will make the youth of the state to be more lively and also more productive. His Excellency has already been clear to us that ICT is one of the key factors of economy in Nigeria, not even in Nigeria, in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's not by mineral resources it will finish. It's not by the oil it will go. But technology every single day is growing and is coming up and making things better for the community and for the people in general. And the way we look at it now, he said, the high-ranking part of economy coming up to the state is mostly digital economy of a thing. So, and a lot of things is happening when it comes to ICT and all that. And our people are almost, let me say it, we are okay, but actually coordinating part of it is the main key.
That's right.
To coordinate these people is the main key factor. When we get to like, for instance, now I have to see not less than more than 40 people in this group, but in fact we are trying to come up with an idea by His Excellency. I believe he is going to approve that we are going to create a centers for innovation for every local government.
In fact, yes.
So the moment we have that innovation for every local government, I believe a lot of things will happen. We are going to have those people. We are going to have those kids. We are going to have them to join this development.
Yes.
So now the main aim is this. Like for instance, last few weeks ago, I trained women in digital literacy, about 600 and something women on digital literacy. So you see how the thing is. I also subscribe for them. You know, that is one thing with Nigerians. If you are giving somebody a fish, you don't need to train. You don't. You have to show him where he can catch the fish,
Right.
not giving him the fish.
That's right.
But in this scenario, we are to use the two, giving them the fish and showing them how to catch the
Very
fish.
well. Very well.
While we are subscribing data for them, we are trying to enlighten them on how they can be able to get use of technology. So each and every woman, each and every one of them, we subscribe data for them,
Yes.
for them to attend what is going to be beneficiary to them.
Yes.
Will you imagine Nigerians? So they are not using their data. We subscribe their data, and they attend the meeting.
I think, Honorable, your
The sound. Okay.
The training.
I think it's the network.
What we are trying to. Somebody is trying to call me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, sir, in a nutshell, we are ready
That network suddenly went bad.
Network, yeah. Honorable, maybe you should just change your direction.
Or perhaps just exit and come in again.
Yes, yes.
Perhaps Honorable may just exit and come in again.
Comrade, can you send him a message from
Yeah.
send him a message to exit and then relog.
So we just need to have
no.
Aha. We can't hear you.
Aha. So he's exited already. That network is very bad.
Yeah, he is. So, comrade.
Yes, please.
Gradually.
Yes, please.
Let's just hope that more people, we're just 3 on it, more people join before we exit.
Right. Actually, he was actually involved with yes. Sorry, the network got that bad.
That is the biggest challenges we are facing in Nigeria.
It's everywhere. There is
a solution. There is a solution to it. We don't want to have a solution. That is the problem.
No, but we'll face it. I'm sure it's just, you see, for me, even the one that is available, let us consume it. That is the main essence, because there's so much really. The ones that are even there, let us get our people to consume what is there. By that, we'll be able to imagine why we don't even have enough yet. Also, we really didn't get you. We didn't get your point well at that time. Sorry, we missed your points at that time.
What I was trying to say is this. The technology part of it in Nigeria.
Wow.
Wow.
I Comrade, you need to call him and let him know.
Yes.
You need to let him know. Or you're sending him a text message quickly. Let him know.
Oh, it has even it has even taken him out. That is Nasarawa. I'm not too familiar with Nasarawa, but one place I know we had issues with network badly because of our work last year was Taraba. It was very, very poor.
Taraba has a lot of issues. Taraba has a lot of issues.
Taraba was very poor, and the beneficiary of the participants from Taraba was really missing classes. Because of that we had to be repeating things.
For Taraba, for Taraba to be successful, it has to be, I don't know how to even describe it.
Yeah, he's back. Oh, he's back now. I pray he's okay so that we can wrap up on time. Yeah, I hope it will be better now. Usually. Yes, welcome back. Sorry for the disruption.
Hello, I think.
Yeah, it just got better now. It just got better now.
Still feeling.
And this is morning. It shouldn't be this bad. I mean, this is morning. It's still morning time.
Depends on you. Yeah, it all depends.
And it came up. It sounded very good. Yeah. It sound.
Hello.
Yeah, very well. You're clear now. You're very clear now. Let him. Your sound is good now. Sound good.
Okay. It's okay, right?
Very well now, yes.
Okay. So what I was trying to say is that I draft a memo to His Excellency just to make sure that we have all these innovation centers in all the local government that we have, so that we can make the youth to come up to know that yes, there is something called innovation, and this is what you can come up with.
That's
and with the concept, like what Benga was saying,
yes,
we have a lot of secondary schools in Nasarawa State, and sometimes it's not what you study, what you know, or what you study in secondary schools and all that will enable you to go to university and all that. What I believe is innovation.
That's right.
I'm sorry to say this, I don't believe in going to high institution, going to have a master's, PhD and all that. While my head is empty, I cannot be able to produce anything to my country. So when you look at China and other countries, they have a lot they offer to themselves that their economy is good. Yes. The more you are creative, it doesn't matter of your certificates.
Right.
So that is my belief. So now, this secondary school youth and all that, this secondary school children and all that, they are very innovative.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent 10 years of our last born. He's 10 years old. I sent him to computer center like that to just learn computer. He comes with what I'm expecting him to get by knowing the keyboards, knowing how to on and off, knowing some of the applications that we have and all that. And to even give him some documents for him to type and also streamline them, he can be able to do that. So you see, when you take this kind of a kid and put him into innovation of a thing, it will do more.
Oh, far more. Yes, you see, he's neither here. He has opportunities he can delve into an area that he is interested.
So you see, like for instance, now I'm trying to get him to Just Mind. I believe Just Mind.
Yeah.
Just Mind that you can create a prototype of applications or web development or something like that.
Yes.
Because the youth children always like to see the outcome, the output of what they do.
Yeah.
That will motivate them to do more of what they want to do or what you want them to do. So I'm trying to come up with so many applications for him to use. See, sir, what I'm telling you now, I even send money to, I'm trying to. One of my colleagues is sending some systems to me. I even send money for him to bring a desktop, a very good Apple desktop for me to just keep it for him at home. If he comes back from school, this is what I want him to be doing. I will be giving him tasks to be doing, and I will show him how to do that criminally. Then I'll allow him to do the rest. This is innovation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let him be more productive. Okay, for instance, these are the kind of a thing that I'm telling you. I jotted to His Excellency for him to get idea of what we are trying to do about innovation of a thing for every local government and streamlining only the secondary school and maybe those graduates that are not that jobless, they don't know what they are doing and all that. We have a lot of graduates in Nasarawa that they don't even know.
That's the thing.
And he agrees with that concept last year. He agreed that he's going to create an innovation place whereby if you are a graduate and indigent of Nasarawa State, you have to go to that institution. You learn skills before you can be able to look for any job.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we actually need. We need it. It's going to help our youth. It's going to help. Okay, for instance, now Nasarawa State. I'm sorry to say this. Nasarawa State is one of the states that is peaceful when it comes to violence and all other things like that.
Yeah, sure.
We all know because most of the youth are engaged because of these investors that we are having here and there. Most of the youth we are engaged.
Very good.
So how can we help these ones that are coming up? Yesterday, I was telling two of my younger ones that you guys should go back and learn innovation, learn this thing, learn this. You learn graphics, you learn programming. Come back, let's do something. See, these are the things that Nigeria now is you are on your own in Nigeria. Nobody's going to give you job.
Yeah.
But it's what you know, what you learn that will make people to come and look for you to work for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you're at home, you can work.
Yes.
So, sir, by not wasting our time, for me, like I assure you that this innovation of a thing is going to work. It's going to work.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
last week, I had a conversation with the SSO, my colleague, SSO and SDG.
Yes.
Which they are going to create innovation for Nasarawa, North Central. And Nasarawa State happen to be the host states.
That's right.
For innovation, for hubs.
That's right.
So Nasarawa State are going to create hub for the North Central when it comes to SDGs. So you see, if we have this in place, it's just for us to call the attention of those people.
Let me share with you based on this your discussion, so you can see how the planning of the entire country that is in our model can help all this that you are saying. And you see, one thing I can appreciate you for is that you've been there and you will always give your mind as to whatever you have seen on the innovation-led projects and programs. And I'm always very happy. But let me just share with you one page that I've just done to calibrate Zamfara. It's the same thing that you're going to see. I'm sure after our discussion today, between now and the weekend on Sunday at most, the page for Nasarawa will be ready because I was just waiting for this meeting. And once that is closed, between now and the weekend Sunday, the page for Zamfara will be ready. Just permit me to share in 2 minutes, one screen more from the web page directly that anybody can have. Please.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Now, based on what you've just said now, is why I have to just go to the homepage of innovationbed.org website, that homepage of innovationbed.org website, you have a summary of certain things of where to go to on the website here. So there's something here you see, click, view states with incubation 2030 activation in Nigeria. You see, what my partners and the local consortium of how I'm going to go in the country have looked at is that we have all the 36 states represented here, starting from Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, and the likes. We've just had a mini meeting with Adamawa. They'll be confirming their time again next week with the larger whatever. Then, if you look at it here, I've already counted you people, but it's just that right now there is no content because I was just waiting for the meeting for Nasarawa. But then, closures that I've had is Zamfara. And what you will have there is that the page for each of the states we have to dimension all the properties of the states, and allocate the hubs for your consideration, even up to the local government. Now, look at Zamfara, for instance, in terms of Africa, the country status, the governor, the other partners, the local players, the governor and his activities, because you yourself now and the governor and some other members there will be the project regional directors of this project in Nasarawa State. Now, look at that. All the local governments have been allocated nodes because they are all virtual hubs. All. And that's exactly what is going to happen all across all the local governments in Nasarawa State. It was actually because you mentioned that I said this is exactly where we are still going. And it's good that when we're talking about this incubation, we should be considering all of these people at a go, because we should be enough, the coverage should be very inclusive, and of course to also address gender. That's our recommendation. And of course we actually let people know that this network of all these things that we are doing happens in more than 182 countries, and is a thing that has been on for over 18 years. And of course the network is large. Solutions that is currently available that we're exposing people into are well over 11,000 different mobile, whatever innovations that people are going to be subjected to, that people have been doing from other clients. And it's a network of events. When I say events, people might be interested in one event or the other. It's a global world because we want to open up the entire ecosystem. And the opportunities are enormous. We do not preach money here, but we take people to where they can make their monies for life. Prosperity is a digital living. Now, and you realize that in the course of what we've been doing over the years, these are different national experts from different countries. These guys are just volunteers, like what I'm doing in Nigeria. So you see, it's actually a goal that when we bring up this kind of a thing and we get people who really see our vision and are ready to help and do what with all this that we're talking about, it gladdens our hearts that yes, these are people we can go with. And we do not want to just play politics with people, just for the fun of what they are doing. Now, and we love to celebrate that, that I celebrate winners in the past years, I should celebrate a winner from any part of this country tomorrow, not just because I'm based in Lagos and I find people who have innovations from Lagos. That's the way it should be. Everybody should just be on that global stage by opportunity and by the design of what we're doing. So we've seen all this in the documentation. All this will also be on the page for Nasarawa. So a couple of images and videos, like the hub. When you're opening hubs per local government, what are we going to do there? There are messages. There are a lot of messages. The contents will be very clear. These are the global contents. Is it in terms of open government, health and well-being? Is it in terms of learning and education itself, environment and green energy? It covers several aspects of anything in regional economy or national economy, culture and tourism, smart settlements and urbanization, and so on and so forth, business and commerce, inclusion and empowerment. And we try to see that the prayers that we just have, like I said, 1, 2, 3, for me, I'm good with Nasarawa State, and we are happy. And in fact, it's a great honor to have even known Nasarawa State through you, because we remain very grateful, and we're going to come up with this, and we're going to help us with additional things that we can actually use to perfect this page for Nasarawa State before now, between now and over the weekend. And we also recognize the timeline on that page. And in fact, like in the word of the honorable now DG of ZIDA, he says what actually appeals to him was the fact that they love to emulate the foundational interventions of innovation bed, which is fixing a gap. That is, we need to fix the gaps in our various regions. Our problems may not necessarily be the same. You see, we need to upskill people for what they need. Even in that self is a research. The World Summit platform that seeks to see that we are working, we are innovating and showcasing is an intervention. The ICT for SDGs advisor, this is a central project at the United Nations for every country, whether you are a small island or a developing state. And later is the idea of digital policy, which we say it shouldn't just be spoken as English. It's a grassroots thing. Everybody in the rural and urban must understand what digital policy is all about. Because you're talking about data that affects human beings. You know, so we love to share as much as we can, and we have some basic content in here. These contents are not hook, line, and sinker like in a school. We are not a school. We are actually an incubation intervention to the career of different minds that we are also still going to measure in the course of this incubation. So it's a whole lot of work, you know. So you see a lot of videos of what UNICT for CIS is talking about regarding any SDG in any part of the world. So it's a lot very easy and straightforward. Very, very easy and straightforward. So I think I just need to just share with you that the page for the states will be this page for the state will be available as soon as possible for your attention.
There is no problem, sir. We are really grateful for that. And to add more on what you are saying is that it's not by only the